There's a famous part of Tanakh, the book of Daniel, which describes a dream that Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had, and which Daniel, the prophet, interpreted for him, which foretold the history from the times of Nebuchadnezzar onward until the days of Moshiach regarding the different kingdoms that will rule the world. And in short, in the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, he saw a statue. And the statue had different parts. The head was made out of gold, the chest and arms were made out of silver, the stomach and the hips were made out of copper, the thighs were made out of metal, and the legs were made some out of iron, and the legs were made some out of iron and some out of clay. And then there was a small stone that wasn't chiseled by human hands that all of a sudden came, and it completely destroyed the whole statue from head to toe, and the statue was blown away with the wind. Nothing was left of it, and this small stone became a great mountain. And Daniel basically describes him the whole story, how Nebuchadnezzar, he forgot the dream, and Daniel, through divine inspiration, was revealed to him what the dream is. Daniel explains to him that the head made out of gold represents the kingdom of Bavel, of Babylon, that Nebuchadnezzar was in charge of, that at the time was a world power. Later was taken over by Madai Upadas, by Persia and Madai, who were compared to silver. Then later was taken over by Alexander the Great from Greece, which was compared to copper. And then there's the thighs out of metal, which is compared to Rome. And then there's the subsequent kingdoms, which are referred some to clay, some to iron, some to metal. And then at the end of the dream, there is a small stone, a stone that appears. It says, Dilavi Dayan. It was not chiseled by human hands, and it all of a sudden came and it destroyed the whole statue. And Daniel explains that this is the eternal kingdom, the kingdom of Moshiach, who will arise at the end of the four kingdoms, and he will totally rule the world. All the other kingdoms will disappear, and this stone will turn into a great mountain which will fill the world, and that will be the eternal kingdom, the kingdom of Hashem, as it is revealed through the kingdom of Moshiach. Commentaries point out on the vision of the dream. One particular point that I want to highlight is that when it comes to Moshiach, it says that he is a stone, the Lavi Dain. It was not chiseled by human hands, so to say, came from above. It was a divinely inspired kingdom. What is the significance of that particular detail of the dream? And the point that commentaries explain, both according to Pshat, according to the simple level, and how much more so according to the Kabbalistic and mystical interpretation, is that the kingdom of Mashiach is a famous verse that says, Loi v'chayel v'loi v'koyach, not with armies, not with might, ki im beruchi, but rather with my spirit, Amar Hashem Tzvos. This is what the Lord of Hosts Eibishter says. Similarly, we find a pasuk regarding Mashiach in the book of Yeshayahu, the famous prophecy where he describes Mashiach's personality, and he says, "Uberuach." So he explains how righteous and holy he will be. It says, "Uberuach svasav yom Yisrael." With the breath of his lips, he will kill the wicked, which is also interpreted to mean that he will not necessarily kill the wicked person, but he will kill the wickedness. He will take away the wickedness from the wicked person. How will Mashiach accomplish his thing, his job? He won't have to use physical warfare. It's Mashiach's role. He will rule the world. Mashiach's influence on the world will not come about through physical weapons. He has greater weapons or less weapons. Mashiach's kingdom will be a divinely inspired kingdom. That is why he will be able to overcome the whole world, and it will be everlasting, because his kingdom will be a kingdom of the spirit, a kingdom of the divine over the physical, of the divine being expressed in the physical matter. So this is the message that Pasuk is trying to explain, that every other kingdom boasted with their might. Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, and they were all gone. But the kingdom of Mashiach is based on the spirit, on the spiritual, on the divine, and therefore will be everlasting. What is the lesson for us? The lesson for us is that the way we affect the world, the way we bring Mashiach into the world, like Reb Nachman of Breslov said, they said Mashiach will conquer the world without firing one shot. It's through spiritual warfare, which is through bringing out, overpowering the spirit over the physical, bringing out the kingdom of Hashem in the world. This is the ultimate and true kingdom. So when a Jew wants to know what he could do about world events, we don't have bombs, we don't have missiles, or at least most of us as individuals don't, but what we do have is we have the spirit of Hashem by increasing light and goodness and kindness in the world. And by connecting ourselves to Hashem, our day-to-day practice, bringing the spirit of godliness into the world, this is the way of assuring the kingdom of the divine, the kingdom of Moshiach to be revealed. And as the verse says, V'haya Hashem l'malach al kol haaretz, Hashem be king over the whole world. V'yom Hashem echad u'shmei echad, and that day Hashem will be one, and His name will be one. The world will be a godly place, a holy place, a safe place. May it happen. Take it from Yad Mamre speedily nowadays. Amen.